My name is Kate Knight, and I'm the Assistant Head of School Student Services at Ross Lake College. That means that I have the opportunity to look after all of the different student experiences at the school that happen outside of the academic classroom. So whether that's our boarding program, our co-curricular program, health services, so really all of those elements that make up what a student day might look like outside of their academic classes. I love the variety. I mean, it's one of those jobs where, despite what your schedule might say in the morning, you never know what kind of opportunities or challenges are going to pop up throughout the day. And it really gives me an opportunity to both work with staff to support the work that they're doing, but also to have often one-to-one conversations with students or small group conversations with students, really about what is their experience at the school like. How can it be better? What are some new directions or initiatives that we can undertake? I love the variety, and I just love the fact that it's different every day. Mm-hmm. I think what's most important about boarding that often gets overlooked is that boarding is about figuring out who you are when you live with other people. It is about relationships and friendships. It is about learning independent skills and learning how to take care of yourself. But I think most importantly, it's about navigating who you are and the person that you want to be, because when you live 24 hours a day, not just with your peers, but with adults that live in the building as well, you have to be an authentic person. Before long, any type of mask that you're trying to wear or any type of way in which you are trying to behave because you think it's what's expected of you or what's cool, it really tends to melt away within those first 4 to 6 weeks, because it's just not something that you can keep up. So what I love most about a boarding school community is that I find that over time, particularly over a semester or a year, students really become their real selves, and that's both their passions and what they're excited about, but also the areas where they need to grow a little bit and where they can learn. And I think that that's one of the pieces about boarding that's most special. I think what first attracted me to RLC was obviously the size of the community, the geographic location, the opportunities to be outdoors. I think what I was absolutely overwhelmed with when I arrived last August was the fact that the people here are so genuine in their willingness to help each other, to put the community first, to put up their hand and say yes whenever something is needed or someone needs support. And that's the type of approach, I think, and attitude that you can't teach a community. I think that it's either part of how the community exists or it's not. And I think it's a really incredible, magical part of here. I think it's always important for a school to be a microcosm of what the rest of the world looks like. And so the reality is that whether you grew up around the corner from Rosso, or whether you have come here from China or Nigeria or the Bahamas, you're going to be interacting with other people throughout your whole life. Those people speak different languages, they come from different cultural or religious backgrounds, they have different political views. And so what's incredible about the diversity on our little tiny campus is how you can walk by any conversation in the dining hall or walking along the trail and actually feel as if the world is represented here, that you can actually see little tendrils of what's going on outside of our 56-acre campus. And that's what international boarding brings, and also international faculty, people who have come from different places who actually want to be here. So I think that a successful RLC student is one who is curious, one who has a flexible growth mindset, one who, with encouragement and scaffolding, is willing to accept that they're going to make some mistakes, that taking risks and not being successful is part of the process. I don't think that every student that comes to a school is going to necessarily enter with those types of characteristics and qualities, but I think that part of our responsibility as a school is to create the environment where students can develop that. I think that the greatest responsibility that a teacher working in a boarding school or a house parent or a boarding life don working in a boarding school has is to understand that they've been given the gift of somebody else's child, that it's a privilege to be trusted to raise someone else's child for them and to help them to develop their values, to help them to navigate, difficult choices and difficult conversations. And so that partnership with parents is so critical, because it isn't an easy decision as a parent to be without your child for 1 day, 2 days, a month, a year, in many cases in boarding schools. And so that means that the parents have made a sacrifice because they believe that this is going to be an experience, it's going to enrich their child's life. And so we have to understand and really appreciate that privilege and gift that we've been given. I hope that they feel like they are capable, that they're cared for, that when they needed people around them, that there was somebody who was willing to lend them a hand, that people were honest with them, and help them to see in the mirror the kind of person that they are, and encouraging them to become the kind of person that they want to be. And I hope that they feel like this is someplace that they'll always be able to come back to, because this is where they really figured out who they are going to be in the world.